Gerald Celente is the founder of the Trends Journal. And the Trends Journal, of course, is a part of the Trends Research company that he owns. They're online, trendsresearch.com. History before it happens. He's a trend expert, a visionary, a keynote speaker. You see him on a lot of the various TV shows talking about the state of our economy in specific. Gerald Celente, always a pleasure to have you out here on the left coast, sir.
Oh, it's great being on with you. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Okay, so I want to talk about the economy first, and then I want to dovetail into why in the heck our Department of Homeland Security is purchasing bullets and light armored vehicles. But let's talk about the economy. We're told that this sequester is the worst thing that could possibly happen. We're told there are going to be long lines at the airports, which not manifesting at this time, that basically the economy is going to turn. What kind of lies are they trying to feed us with this sequester nonsense, Mr. Celente?
It's fear and hysteria. They do it all the time. Remember when we went over the fiscal cliff? So this is what the government does, and it takes its mind off what's really going on. And what's really going on is that as we're speaking, the Dow is now breaking a record, topping big deal the 2007 all-time high. There's one reason and one reason only why the U.S. economy, the stock markets, and throughout the world, why we haven't gone into a deeper recession and why things haven't gotten worse. And that's simply because interest rates are at historic lows. Hey, you want to buy a car? I got a deal for you. Put no money down and pay me back and start paying in 60 months. You want to buy a home, residential? How about a 2.875% mortgage? Commercial, 3.25. Hey, you want to put money in the bank like you used to do in the old days and get some savings back? Can't do it anymore. Why not? Because the interest rates are so low. Where am I going to put my money? Hey, step right up. How about gambling with the Dow Jones? That's what's going on. It's not only the United States. Everybody has a different name for it. In the United States, they call it quantitative easing. Now, isn't that a proper term? How about printing money, not worth the paper it's not printing on, and buying up a lot of government crap? No. We'll give it a different name over in Europe. We'll call it ongoing monetary transactions. Now, that sounds proper, doesn't it? Well, yeah, we'll just keep buying everything. You know those worthless stocks, the bonds that they have in all these countries, like Spain and Italy and Portugal? Don't worry about it. Mario Draghi, the head of the ECB, former member of the Goldman Sachs gang, European Division vice chairman, he says they'll keep buying them no matter what. You want to know what's going on in China? Very simply, listen to the Communist Party reports coming out as we speak now. More money going into the system. We're going to keep it afloat. Hey, look what's going on over there in Japan. New Prime Minister, Abe. What did Abe do? Well, since he came on, when they said he was going to win in December, the yen has lost 20% of its value. Why is that? Well, because he said the Bank of Japan has to keep buying up worthless assets and print more money. Period, paragraph.
Gerald Celente with us on KFSO, trendsresearch.com. Okay, so Gerald, you just mentioned all this money that we're printing. The Fed is printing money. And, of course, China is taking advantage of this. They're borrowing money at essentially very, very low interest. And what is China doing with that money? Because I was reading something you were talking about very recently involving China and taking this easy money from America. Tell us what they're doing with that money.
Well, they're buying a lot of gold. Isn't that funny? They're buying gold, and what they're doing is they're supporting the yuan to make it a reserve currency among the partners that they do the most trading with. And that is going to, at some point, hurt the U.S. dollar, which is now the only reserve currency.
And they're doing this purposefully. They want to hurt the U.S. dollar, don't they? It's like a war. It's like a currency war.
It's a currency war is going on. And I'm not saying that. You're not saying that. Let's listen to Guido Mantega, the finance minister of Brazil. There's a currency war going on. You listen to Mervyn King, the outgoing head of the Bank of England. There's a currency war going on. You listen to Alex Verba, the head of UBS, former head of Deutsche Bank. There's a currency war going on. You listen to Abe in Japan. There's a currency war going on. So what they're doing is the Chinese. What they're also doing is they're stimulating their economy in a very different way than we do it. In the United States, the way they stimulate the economy, and the matter of fact, coming out through Bloomberg, I mean, that's no left-wing piece of media. The United States, we the people, the banks had made it an estimated, the 8 largest banks made an estimated $85 billion in profit last year, all because of we the people subsidizing them by letting them borrow money at virtually no money at all. So what the Chinese are doing, however, not only are they feeding their banks, they're building their infrastructure. Yeah, I live over here in New York, from colonial Kingston, New York, to go up to Canada, which is about 4.5 hours. If I get on Amtrak, it'll take me about 12 hours. When China, you go you can do the thing in about 4 hours. The whole game is this country is going down. Oh, and by the way, now you're also hearing Biden saying, if Iran, gets out of line, we're not going to tolerate it. We're looking at now wars in Syria that they're talking about now. Kerry went over there. I love it. Kerry gave Syrian rebels, the total now, Brian, is $400 million. Just gave the Egyptians $250 million. I said to myself, man, this guy's really a sport. Where's he getting the money from? His old lady that had the Heinz Corporation that got all this dough? Or is he stealing it from us? So they're taking us to war.
I shouldn't be laughing, Gerald, but I mean, you're right. This is comical. Here's John Kerry handing out money like he's Santa Claus overseas. Can I promised our audience that I would ask you about this. It's something we've been talking a lot about here on KSFO, and we're speaking with Gerald Celente from TrendsResearch.com, the Trends Journal. Gerald, it should be very disconcerting to everyone. Why is the Department of Homeland Security, not the military, the Department of Homeland Security buying billions of bullets and 2,700 light armored vehicles? What's going on here, sir?
4 words that kill this country, kill capitalism. It's called too big to fail. You're right. You used to rise